Okay, so I want to start us off by saying this could be a simple yes or no question, but I feel like there's not more nuance, but there's a lot of factors still need to be put into this to where I could create a comprehensive video on whether or not I'd enjoy being a house. So I have four, yeah, I have four different like points to make, and then in those four, I have little like sub points to make. If you count four being the conclusion here. But so I want to preface this by saying that this is like really unscripted and I'm just like kind of talking, but I do have like a general layout of what I want to do. Um, so yeah. So for the sake of this situation, I'm going to act like I'm a normal house where like I'm maybe okay. Let me write this down. Okay, so I have in this house, I am okay. This is kind of hard. Okay, looks like an average house. Okay, I am a two bedroom, two bathroom house, and I'm in an average city. Two bedroom, two bath. I'm also writing this down. I don't know if I said that. So I'm in a two bedroom, two bath, and I live in a normal city. Like that's just like average, where people, it's not rich, not poor. It's like in the middle, like it's just one of those places, like an average town. Yeah, average town. Okay, so now that we have those two like main factors in this, um, and maybe at the end I'll show what it looks like fully at the end, like what I'm writing down fully. Um, but just for now, I'm just gonna be writing it down, and you guys are just gonna have to just imagine it. Main factors. Okay. So my first point here was my purpose. This is a super important thing because I feel like if you are anything other than a human being, or like I'm saying like an animal, you know what you're supposed to do already. Like if like for example if you're a cat, you know you have well any animal actually, you would know you have to eat and you have to drink to survive. That just comes with your natural like instinct in your mind. And also even as a baby, you will cry when you are hungry or you'll cry when you are sleepy or whatever you need as a baby. So you kind of like are born knowing already. So when it comes to inanimate objects that suddenly become okay, I'm not there yet. When it comes to inanimate objects, um, purpose precedes the existence. So you exist before. I mean, your purpose is already served before you exist, as opposed to humans or animals. Even like when you are a human being, you're like uh, you're generally not. Hang on, you're generally not like born knowing that you're a human being. I feel like, or any animal, you're not really knowing what you are. You just know what you have to do. Um, and this is like super relevant, not prevalent, relevant, because when you're an object, people are like, "Oh, I need a table because well, you don't say you need a table. You're like, I need something to put things on, right? I need, or for even a chair, it's like I need something to sit on. Like I can't just keep sitting on the floor. I feel like I need something higher to sit on. So then chairs were invented. So your purpose as a chair was already pre-made as a chair before you even came into fruition. For human beings and animals, you kind of exist before you find your purpose. Wait, yeah, you kind of exist before you find your purpose, which I think is what makes it kind of hard for human beings like these days. Like even before, I'm sure that people were struggling with like, oh, why do I exist? But I'm not really talking about that right now. I'm talking about inanimate objects that precede their purpose before they exist. Um, so it's kind of okay. So I'm a house, and I'm gonna say this is a modern day. So I'm a modern house, and Like, I'm in an average town. I'm in a modern house. It's 2025. I'm a modern house. So my purpose has already been like people have already developed the concept of a house before I even existed, right? It's not like I'm the first house ever, because that's a totally different thing. Okay, if I was the first house ever, that would really suck for being a house. I mean, for the people who live in it, obviously it's awesome because you invented something. Other than I don't even know what people lived in before houses. Like I feel like anything can be a home. So even like a tent, or just like two sticks, or like four sticks, and some like cloth, or like is considered a house if you live in it enough. I feel like. Excuse me. So I'm thinking like I am already a pre-existing house. So in this big neighborhood, I also was built at the same time. Because you know how they build neighborhoods in sections where like it's like, oh, this whole street is my house, or like this whole street is a street and we're gonna start building houses one by one. No, they don't build houses one by one, they build houses at the same time, so I'm built the same time as everyone else, like as every other house. um so okay, this is so hard to word because then it just sounds like nonsense, but I swear I'm making a point here. um and I guess I have to assume that every single other house, I can't even assume that. I can't assume anything. I'm a house. That's the difficult part, is that I, but let's pretend that I'm a house and I don't know that other houses are other houses. I just know what my purpose is, and I'm like, okay, I am made to. Well, like hopefully, I am made to like. 1 second. I am a building, okay, and um okay. My first point here is, do I know I'm a house, right? So I have people living in me, or I'm being built, and hopefully I know that, you know okay, for the sake of this example, I'm gonna say that I do know I'm a house, or I do know I am built to serve some sort of higher purpose other than just existing, because people are living inside me. People are trusting the fact that I don't collapse, you know, and I'm going to assume that I'm I'm a house. Okay, I assume that I know I'm a house. Um, whatever all that stuff was before, I really was trying to explain something, but I totally forgot what I was saying. So hopefully it wasn't important. Maybe if I remember, I'll come back to it. I don't know anything at all. My second point is: am I made with purpose, or was it given to me by some higher? Am I made with purpose, or was I given sentience after being built? So that's a difficult thing, right? Um, at first, I feel like we have to define what is sentience. Is sentience being that I am a person, or not a person? I'm a house, and I know that I am a house, or am I sentient as in the fact that, am I a house? Um, but I don't know my house, but I'm like thinking about like what I'm doing here, right? Because sentient is like two different things, especially in this case. But for this sake, I'm gonna write down that I like, as soon as they finished building me, as soon as they finished like putting in all the furniture, like I'm a furnished house. So as soon as they put in all the furniture, I became a person, or I became like sentient. So sentient at birth, and then to my first point, I'm going to say, do I know I'm a house? And to that, I'm going to say, yeah, I know I'm a house. I know I'm a house. Um, so now we have this thing where I'm writing on one side of the paper, or not. It's not even a piece of paper. I'm writing on my iPad. I'm writing on one side of this iPad. So on the other side, I'm gonna say that it's just the exact opposite. And this isn't inherently bad. Like maybe for the opposite side. So the first point I put was sentient at birth. So maybe I was given sentience by some higher being that was like, I need you to be alive and I need you to know that you're a house. So I'm gonna write given sentience. Given sentience. And do I know I'm a house? So for my second point, obviously, that was my first point that I knew I was a house. So the second one, I'm gonna be like, I'm not a house. I don't know. Which really sucks. But not all of these points are gonna be bad because okay, so if I was given sentience as a house, obviously some higher being was like, I really need this house to know that it's alive. I really need this house to know that I don't even know like what would be the reason I was given sentience. Like that's just nonsensical. I feel like if a god or a higher power was like, I need to give sentience to something, it probably shouldn't be a house or any like household object because like you never know, they might rebel, they might like I don't know, do like bad things, or they might just hate being what they are, especially in comparison to like saying human beings and being able to do whatever they want, and they're like born, but they know that their purpose is to serve human beings, and that would like start like a revolt maybe. Like I don't know how many objects are sentient now, but that would like start a revolt because like if a toaster was all of a sudden conscious, and it's like man, I really like I'm tired of toasting toast all day and like toasting waffles all day. I got to do something else with my life because these human beings, they get to put toast in me, but then they get to live their whole entire lives outside of toasting, and I get to stay here, and my life sucks. So it really does depend, and that's like the worst part, and that's when I start feeling bad for things that are given sentience, other than like because if you were born sentient, then you have time to be like, okay, this is my purpose and this is what I'm supposed to do. But I guess either way, you can revolt. But if you're a house, you're kind of like a standalone, not standalone, you're an opposite of a standalone object. You are planted in the ground and you have these things that are connecting you to like resources like water and like heat and uh, gas. Sorry I'm burping so much. Sorry. Um, but I guess those were my 2 points for my like the first point where I was like my purpose. Um, yeah. So we're gonna go into the second point where I'm gonna reference the monster house. Um, so about the monster house, uh, this house was originally just like a normal house before it became sentient, which really sucks that that happened, especially like with the backstory and everything. Like if you haven't watched Monster House, I think you should watch it. It was pretty scary when I was a kid. Um, and then okay, here's where it gets nutty. Okay, here's where it gets crazy. Can I control myself? So there's two different versions of controlling myself here. There's the one version where if this is like okay, the one version where okay, I am a sentient and I know I'm a house, right? So in this sense, when someone flips on a light switch, I manually am going to pump the electricity into that light switch, and I'm going to turn the lights on for them. And the other part, actually, I'm gonna keep going with that. And like, so as soon as someone needs like light, as soon as someone needs something like light or heat or water, I'm the house and I get to supply that, and I get to control how much water I like give, how much water, how much heat, how much electricity I give these people that live inside me. And I feel like that's super important. Like that's like if you don't work the way you're supposed to, it's like people are gonna come and like invade you and like go inside you, and they're gonna like tear apart your pipes. And we're going to assume that in this case. So remember when I said that as soon as the last piece of furniture was added, that's when I came alive. I'm gonna keep that there, and I'm gonna say that your organs are like your house, and your organs and like your inner workings are the pipes and the electricity, like wires, and like anything that connects to the ground and like has a higher thing that's not just you as a house, like something that cannot just be added. Like, a couch can just be added. That's not part of me. That's a feature inside me. I'm saying like things like water pumps, and they don't just connect to the house, they connect to every house. And then electricity obviously comes from those wires outside, which is not just you. It's everything ever. So that's what's keeping you, that's what makes you alive in the sense. So you get to control how much output that you have for each of these, and if you don't do it the right way, then someone's going to be like, okay, well, my water isn't working, my water's not getting hot like it's supposed to, like my electricity, like it's kind of like it doesn't work, the lights flicker, whatever, like people have to complain about, someone's gonna come and fix that. And who knows if that hurts or not. Like if you're a house, like who knows if that's actually painful or if it's just someone like tickling you. But like if they're tearing apart wires and replacing them, that's like the human equivalent to like let's say you break your knee or like you're having knee problems and they tear out your knee and put in a metal like piece of metal, but like it's not under anesthesia. So you just have to like watch that and then you have to like feel the pain. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh my god. I don't know why I thought about that. That's actually so gross. Oh my god, I'm so grossed out right now. That's so nasty. Um anyways, it's like that. That's disgusting. And if you're a house, you have to just deal with that. But then maybe if you don't feel pain, I guess that's the whole thing. Where if it's like if I can control myself, can I feel pain, or can I control myself and I just am able to control myself and I feel like nothing? Because that would also be like if you're a house and like what if you're like super picky, like you're just sentient and you're like super picky and like you hate when people walk around you barefoot. Like me personally, I hate walking around barefoot. Like imagine if the whole house hated when you walked barefoot because it didn't like the feeling of your toes. Oh my god, my nose is like plugged right now. What the heck? That'd be crazy. But also, that would really suck because you have like no way of communicating that. Like, oh, I really hate when you guys walk without socks on. Like, that's nasty. Actually, sorry, but so we're gonna assume to write this down that yes, I can control myself in the sense that like I'm able to output the amount of energy that people are requesting. So I'm gonna just say I can control myself. Myself. And then the con, I mean not the con, but the opposite would be I can't control myself. I can't control myself. So now we have two. Now we have 3 points. And this is about okay, after the second point, this is like my halfway point. Which I'm like 18 minutes in and my limit is 30 minutes. So I gotta work around this. My second point here is can I feel? Oh wait, no, it's not. Am I just a house or its innards too? I feel like we already discussed that. Where yeah, you are the innards, but you're not like the furniture that's able to be added. Uh, oh my god, I was so sorry. You're the house, and then you're the wires, and you're the organs, and you're the like everything. But you're not furniture, and you're not like appliances. However, you do control the appliances, like the amount of output that you put out for the appliances. Um, so I'm gonna say that was a pretty fast one actually. I'm gonna say that I am the wires and the pumps I'm the wires and the pumps, yeah. The wires and the pumps. Okay, and for the point here, I'm gonna say that I am just the like frame of the house. Like I am just the like whatever the windows are attached to and whatever like the doors are attached to and the roof, that's me. So I'm just the outside. It's the outside. Okay. I got 10 minutes. Can I see? That's my oh wait no. My second point is can I feel pain? Honestly, I'm gonna say even if there was logic to this, I feel like you're just made out of like if you're the wires itself and like the base of the house, what is pain to a house? Is it like when you're getting demolished, or is it when people like punch holes in walls, or is it when like people like lean against walls? Does that hurt? So I'm gonna say that it hurts when you get sledgehammered, and it hurts when people slam doors. Maybe if you're like hypersensitive. So I'm gonna say, yeah, I can feel pain. Give me 1 second. I can feel pain. And then my second point here will be I can't feel pain. I can't feel pain. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And so the second one is, or the third one is, can I see? I don't really like this thing. Okay, I wrote it down initially and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is like the main point here. But I don't, now that I look back on it, I'm like, I don't like that, like at all. I feel like if I was a house and feeling is all I would really need. I wouldn't need to like see people. Like if I could feel it all, then I wouldn't need to see anything. And also, what is seeing in this house? Is it like can I see like all out, you know how like those flies and they have like those eyes that like go that are super round and they like can see like all different angles at the same time. Whereas humans will see like just two different angles, but they're so like close together that it looks like one image, or like your brain is putting together as one image. And well, I guess that's how it is for like every animal who has like super round eyes, or they can see like from super far away. They can see things all at once, but it comes together as a comprehensive photo that like is like you can see easy. That's pretty cool. Like thinking about that, like and then thinking about taking a photo, and that's one thing. But that one thing you saw, just it's like, dude, you know how when people say, I was just thinking about this. You know how when people say that it looks better in real life, like when you take a photo, and it like doesn't look as good as it does. Like, okay, think about the Grand Canyon. That is beautiful. Okay, and when I take a photo, it doesn't nearly encapsulate the beauty that I saw at the Grand Canyon. Like when I show people photos, I'm like, yeah, it looks way better in person though, because it's true. And maybe that's because when we see things with our eyes, we're seeing two different things at the same time, and we're putting it together into one photo. Whereas when you're taking a photo with your camera, you're only seeing one half of what you would normally see, because you only have one lens. And I know that certain phones will have different lenses, but you're only using one lens at a time on the iPhone. So that's pretty. Okay, I'm gonna pause it right here because I'm at 24 and I'm gonna forget. So give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So I think okay, that's my theory actually. I just made that up just on the spot, and I feel like I'm not really fully encapsulating what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to say when you have two eyes, you are seeing two different things at the same time. Even if they are so close together that it looks like one image. Like even when you wink and like you close one eye and keep the other one open, you will kind of see two different angles of the same thing. And when you're seeing with two eyes, your brain is putting together these two images and making it into one comprehensive image. So it's not two choppy kind of things. Whereas when you're taking a photo with your camera, it's only one thing. It's only one eye technically, which is actually pretty crazy. Um, I think that's probably why things look so much better in real life, whereas in comparison to on the phone, because you're seeing two different things at the same time and you're putting them together and it's beautiful. Whereas on your phone, you're seeing one image and you're like, dude, that's not how it looked at all when I saw it with my own two eyes, because you're only seeing it with one eye now. No offense to people with one eye. With one eye, I mean. Um, anyways, I'm going on to the third bit here, which is haunted house. Now, at first, it sounds like, okay, well, aren't you the haunted part of the house? No. Okay. There's a different genre of haunted house. And that's just the house. And then someone dies inside of it, maybe. Someone died inside the house and they're haunting the house. So that's what the oh my god, I just went over the main point in like 10 seconds. Oops. So the first one was, am I the haunted? Where since I'm given sentience, am I the haunted part of the house? Like, am I like when people say, "Oh, this is a haunted house," is it because I'm sentient, or is it because there's a ghost inside the house that I happen to be sentient in? Right. That's like those are two different things. Because if okay, if the house is so haunted that people don't want to go near it and maybe it gets demolished, um, then I die as a house, right? But okay, if I'm the haunted house, or if I'm the haunted house, right, and I'm the one doing the haunting technically, like I'm technically, hang on, okay, the house wouldn't be haunted if I was given sentience as soon as I was born. If I was given sentience as soon as I was born, that doesn't make me haunted. That makes me just a house. However, if I was like gifted this sentience by a higher being, then obviously that would make me the haunted, because and then maybe I can be the quote unquote haunted house and then also be haunted, which is just another factor that makes it even more difficult. Like, this is the difficult part, because what is haunted? What is a haunted house? It's a scary house, right? So maybe if I was a good house, but I was given sentience by someone else, and like after I was built, maybe then it wouldn't be a scary house. It would just be a house that can like be sentient. But that's also to put in the fact that, oh, maybe do people know even that I'm a living house? Like, what if right now? What if right now I'm a house? I'm sitting in a house that's actually sentient and it's like listening to me, dude. And I've been living here for like as long as like I've been alive, so it's used to me by now. But like, okay, I gotta stop thinking about that. I gotta stay on point. Am I the haunted? I'm gonna say it really does depend. So, but guess what I did already? For the factors, I put the very first factor. I put sentient at birth, and then the opposite, given sentience. So technically, I'd already set myself up for this. Oh my god, I'm so smart. Okay, so for the sentient at birth kind of the thing, I'm gonna say that no, I am not haunted. I am not the haunted. Not the haunted. However, for the second point, I'm gonna say that I am. I am the haunted. Okay, so I set myself up for that, dude. Dude. I didn't even think about that. Second point: what happens if the house gets haunted while I'm the house? So I don't even said that. But okay, so for the first one, obviously, I am sentient. I was given sentience at birth. So if something is haunting me, dude, I'd be scared out of my mind. Okay, because that means there's another sentient, like higher power that can also control what I'm doing. And obviously, for the 2 points, I put um, one side said, bro, I gotta check. One side said, I can control myself, and the other side said, I can't control myself. So for the I can control myself spot, I'm gonna put. Oh, I'm gonna put. This is so difficult. So for the part where I'm sentient, it's just kind of like a normal thing where it's the same exact thing to where if you're living in a haunted house, then it's just kind of normal to you. Even if it's sudden, you kind of get used to it, especially if you don't want to like move out. You just get used to like the doors like slamming or whatever. So I feel like. So what the question? What's even the question that I asked? What happens if the house gets haunted while I'm in the house? I have to simplify that. So if the house gets haunted while I'm the house, while I'm the sentient house, I'm gonna say that I'd be I'd be scared. I'm gonna write that. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna write that down. I'd be scared. I'd be scared if the house became haunted. However, I would get used to it. But that's just like for this here for the sake of this. And then if I was given sentience, I am technically the haunted house. So I wouldn't be scared. I just hang on. I just be normal. So I'm gonna just quote what I said before. So there's nothing to be scared of. So there's nothing to be afraid of. Okay. My third point was abandoned slash neglected houses. What? Oh, okay. So this is to say that after the house gets haunted, people abandon it. So what happens to me in the sentient house? Like, maybe I become resentful of the people that abandoned me. Maybe I become sad or depressed, and then I stop working. But that's kind of hard because, like, dude, I don't know how I'd act in my house, and I'm a person right now, so there's no way I could like uh, define the house's life. There's no way I can empathize with a house because I've never been a house, and even no matter how hard I try, uh, I could never like put myself in the shoes of a house because I can't be a house unless at one point I get haunted and I like take over this house. But for now, I'm gonna say that. So abandoned slash neglected houses. You are you are like this is so hard. Let me think about this. Okay, if I was a haunted house and I was sentient at birth, right? And all of those other factors, I'll probably put up the list at some point, so that you can see what I'm talking about. Unless you can like visualize it better, hopefully. Um, if I was haunted, if I was suddenly abandoned, and I hang on, let me see if I wrote down that I knew my purpose. Yeah. So for the first one, I did know my purpose, and all of a sudden, if these people left, and I didn't, I'd be sad. I feel like if I was a house. Um, and like I stopped getting maintenance and I stopped like working the way I should, then I would die, right? That's how it works. I feel like I would die, as a house, and I'd just be like a normal house now. So if I was abandoned slash neglected house and I was given sentience at birth, I would die if I was neglected. Hang on, let me write that down. I would die. I would die if I was neglected. However, if I was the if I was the non-sentient house and I was given sentience by a higher power, I could never die. I would just have to live with the fact that okay, no one wants me anymore and like my life sucks as a house because I'm not serving my purpose as I should. I would just be sad. I would just be sad forever. Forever. Because if I was given sentience, I don't think that can be taken away. Unless I don't know. That couldn't be taken away. However, if I was born, then that can be taken away. Because it wasn't gifted upon me, you know. And my fifth, one, two, three, four, five, my fifth point was Bulldozed house. Oh, okay, now I know why I put that. So, given these 2 points where I was sentient at birth or I was given sentience, um, if I was bulldozed, I would die, but I'd already be dead. So it wouldn't really matter if I was bulldozed, if I was neglected. Okay, because do like normal houses get bulldozed? Like if you're living in a house and like can it suddenly get bulldozed? Like you get a notification, you know, like hey, or they're like hey, we're gonna bulldoze your house. Like is that allowed? I don't even know, but I'm gonna pretend that that's not allowed, and only neglected houses and abandoned houses get bulldozed. So let's say I'm already dead, so it doesn't matter if I get bulldozed. I'm already dead, so it wouldn't matter. So it would not matter. Would not matter if I get bulldozed. Hang on, I gotta rewrite that. However, if I was given sentience house, I think that me personally, I think that you you would still exist as a house. Well, like not as a house, but like as a concept where you once were. So if you get rebuilt wherever you died as a house, you would suddenly be that house again. But because you were given sentience, just the general area of like where you were is all you. It doesn't matter if you were a house and you suddenly got bulldozed because then you'll still be there. So if I were bulldozed, I'd still be there. I I would still be there if I was bulldozed. And then I would be, if hypothetically another building was rebuilt in the place that I just got bulldozed in, that would be me again. Yeah, that would be me again. So that would suck. Well, maybe that wouldn't suck. It depends on your outlook on life as a house. So, my conclusion. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 points. I'm gonna write this in red because this is the last point here. And I'll put it up on the screen right now if I remember. So I'll put it up on the screen right now if I remember. Do it now. That is the photo. Okay. Hopefully you can read my handwriting. I don't know. But if I was, so my final point here was, would I enjoy being a house? So for my first point, so I'm gonna go over the main points. Actually, you just read them, right? You just saw them. So the first side, Yeah, I would enjoy being a house. I think I would. But I'd be scared. I'd be scared that people would neglect, or like, yeah, neglect me, or I would get bulldozed, or I would die, or like, any of those points. But I would be happy to be a house. Like, not happy, but like, I'd just like accept my point as I was. I think I would be happy to be a house. For sure. So let me say, yes. However, if I was given sentience and I don't die ever, yes. Wait, let me write it on the other side. Yes, but I'd be scared. But scared. Now, the other side. I if I could not die and my life just like sucked forever and I would just have to stay in this one spot for the rest of my life and not the rest of my life, I don't die. No, I wouldn't be happy as a house. My life would suck. And I'd be mad because I can't die. And like if I was next to maybe hypothetically, these two houses are right next to each other. And I get to watch these houses die, these people move out of me get bulldozed, and then me get rebuilt into another house. That would suck. And I would hate it. No. And that's it. I would just be mad. I think so. My last point here was why, and then make sure to write down factors for a comprehensive conclusion. I went through everything already. I feel like everything has already been went through. There's only so much I could say at the end because I already put everything all together. But if you guys get this far, if anyone gets this far, let me know if you agree with my points because there's a lot of points I had to make here. I personally, if all of a sudden I was a house, I'd probably hate my life because I was once a human. But other than that, like that's it. I really just wanted to make a video because I haven't in a while, and also I wanted to experiment a bit. But let me know if you like these kinds of videos. Subscribe to my channel. Seriously. I'll put gameplay behind this, and hopefully that's how it works. Bye.